Hello, everyone. This is Aaliyah Booker. As you know, I am a CCA intern. I am here with Melissa Tumblin. Thank you so much, Ms. Melissa, for joining and sharing your time with us. Today, we are going to talk about the ALIES Act and the importance behind it. To start us off, would you tell us a little bit about yourself and explain what is the ALIES Act and why are they important?
Of course. Thank you so much. And thanks for having me on today. Again, my name is Melissa Tumblin, and I'm the founder and executive director of the 𝘰𝐻 Community Organization. And we have a piece of legislation in place that would help approximately 500,000 children and adults who struggle to get specific kinds of hearing devices covered. But first, before I talk about that, I wanted to share why we need this legislation. First of all, my organization helps serve many children and adults who are born with microtia and aural atresia. This is my daughter, Allie, and she was born without her right ear, and she has no ear canal, and she's wearing a bone anchor hearing device on her head. You can see the headband. That is the specific hearing device that she needs, and it is the only hearing device that she can benefit from. So for the past 13 years running my organization, I have watched family after family struggle to get these devices covered by their insurance providers. And so we now have ALIES Act. It's named after Allie, and it is a federal piece of legislation. So what that means is every state would benefit from this bill if it passes and becomes the law. And I'd like to share some of the details about this act and how it will help these individuals. So first of all, the bill numbers for this session, the 118th session, the House bill number for ALIES Act is H.R.2439. And then this bill is also running through the Senate at the same time. And the Senate bill number is S.1135. So what we're asking the community to do is please write to your local lawmaker. This would be your congressman and your 2 senators. And you ask them to support this bill, support ALIES Act, and co-sponsor it. And tell them why this matters to you, why this bill is important to you. A lot of insurance companies do cover bone anchored hearing devices and cochlear implants, but the same insurance companies also deny them. And so we have families, some are covered and then others are not, and they all are paying into private insurance premiums. So it's hit or miss. ALIES Act would make this coverage consistent. And so the services that this bill would cover, and this is how individuals would be able to benefit from this law if it passes, is it would cover the actual processor itself. So first of all, ALIES Act covers bone anchored hearing devices and cochlear implants, not traditional hearing aids. Okay, it's the implantable hearing devices that require surgery. ALIES Act would cover the cost of the processor itself. It would also cover the upgrade for the device every 5 years. You'd get a new device covered. It would cover accessories for the device. A lot of times these individuals have microphones and streaming devices and everything, to make hands-free in the car so you can talk on the phone safely through your hearing device. It would cover those accessories. It would cover 1 appointment a year for an ENT visit and also an audiology visit. And then when you're ready for surgery, it would cover the cost of the surgery. And it would cover the post-operative care appointments following that procedure from your ENT and audiologist. And it would also cover oral therapies. And what that is speech therapy. Right. So a lot of individuals, they've never heard their voice before. They've never heard anything before until they put these devices on. And it's a little bit of a learning curve, just learning how to talk and hearing themselves speak. So speech therapy, cued speech, and ASL would be also covered, those services. And this bill would cover from age birth to age 64. It wouldn't stop at age 18 or 26, because honestly, even though this bill would help my child now, who's 13, I would also like her to be helped throughout adulthood. Right. because her hearing loss is not going to get better, improve, or go away overnight at age 26. She needs help with hearing devices throughout adulthood. That's what 𝘬𝐿E's Act would do. And it would cover approximately 500,000 individuals. So it's not even millions, but the reason for the 500,000 is not everyone's a candidate for these devices.
Right.
So yeah, it's 500,000 children and adults who'd be able to change their lives.
Yeah, 500, including me. I was
Yes.
born with, I was born with
Oh.
facial microsomia, and I was born with no left ear as well. And I'm currently 21 years old, and I never received a cochlear implant or a
The BAHS.
BAHS band. Well, I tried the BAHS band, but I was young and I didn't really like it at all, so I really didn't get into it. But now I'm 21 years old, and I noticed that my hearing on the left side has been a problem for me lately, because people have been talking on the left side, and whenever I turn around, they always have like a face and they're like, "Didn't you hear me?" I'm like, "No," and I kind of feel embarrassed to bring it up, but like I noticed that it's like becoming a problem now. And I just love this act, how you talk about the 𝘬𝐿E's Act and bring awareness, because I'm sorry, I'm getting a little emotional, because like this is really, like a surreal moment for me, because I had no one to advocate for this. So thank you so much, Melissa, for advocating this, and I really appreciate. My next question for you is, what do we need to do as a community to help this act? Yeah.
So as a community, we're asking everyone to please write a letter and call your local lawmakers' offices. So this is your local congressman over the district in which you live in, and then the 2 senators in your state. And you can do a simple search online, who is my congressman, and a link will pop up, and you put in your zip code and it will tell you exactly who your congressman is that you need to write to, or your congresswoman. And then the same thing with your senators. It will tell you exactly, who's my senator. And you put in your zip code, and in your letter, explain, share your story, share your journey, make it real. Tell them why this bill matters to you and your family. If your family has been denied coverage for these hearing devices and you've struggled to obtain them because they're very expensive and they have to be upgraded after so many years, tell them that, we need help with this coverage. And this is why you're asking that lawmaker to co-sponsor. You have to ask them to co-sponsor 𝘬𝐿E's Act, and you put the bill numbers. So there are boilerplate template letters on Ear Community's website. They can be downloaded, edited, personalized. You can print them off. And then you also mail that letter with the 1-pager and our list of endorsers. And that information is valuable to the lawmakers. It shows them the communities and the organizations that are supporting this bill, saying we need this.
Right. We do. And for anyone else there, how do they learn more if they want to learn more about the 𝘬𝐿E's Act?
Of course. So even though we're all in this together as nonprofit organizations, my organization, we're the family behind this bill. So if you go to earcommunity.org, it's EARcommunity.org, and click on the 𝘬𝐿E's Act menu tab, you will learn everything that you need to know about this bill, how to advocate for it, the template letters, the 1-pager, everything that you can print off. You will also learn about the leadership behind this bill. So Congressman 𝘠𝑒𝐿 is our district's congressman, and he's our bill's main sponsor. He's the one that wanted to name this after 𝘬𝐿Ee. After meeting her, and she wrote to him. And then we have our other co-sponsor lead. It's Congressman Brian Fitzpatrick, who's also leading our bill. And then Congressman Mike Thompson as well. Now, both Congressman Mike Thompson and Congressman Brian Fitzpatrick, they sit on the Congressional Hearing Health Caucus. So they support the deaf and hard of hearing community. They know how much this bill means to our community members. And then on the Senate side, our 2 senators leading our bill are Senators Shelley Moore Capito and Senator Elizabeth Warren. So we have a strong leadership behind this bill, and we're very proud and we're grateful for each and every one of them to help us get this legislation passed.
Yes, we really do need this passed. because what's it called? As she said, Allie, not only Allie, but we have other families that can't even cover it, and insurances won't even cover it because they say it's cosmetics or they say it's something else or anything. And like I said, I'm going through that right now. My insurance says cosmetics won't cover it, but
Yeah,
but
and it's not cosmetic.
it's not
If anyone like you and my daughter and our families knew,
right.
it is a daily challenge to struggle with hearing loss, even if you have just single side hearing
Right.
loss.
Right.
You miss out on conversations, you miss out on whispers, you miss out on hearing birds. You have to take extra precaution to, like, seat yourself with your better ear
Right.
toward the speaker.
Right.
When there's background noises, like in train stations and at parties and school, it makes it very difficult to hear, and only someone with hearing loss would understand this.
Right.
I would like to just share a quick little, these are some of the community members besides you and my daughter who are in need of this piece of legislation. There's a surgeon I know. He woke up one day and his hearing was gone in one ear. He was terrified. How could he do his job in the OR? He can't hear. Insurance denied him a cochlear implant. Even his chief of the hospital went to fight with the insurance company, saying, this is a surgeon.
Right.
He needs to hear in the OR. They still denied him that cochlear implant. There are other individuals, I should back up and just make this very clear as well. ALLY's Act not only covers individuals that were born with hearing loss, okay, but for anybody who loses their hearing tomorrow, it's called sensory neural hearing loss. You can wake up and your hearing is gone, and it's permanently gone. It's not going to come back. How do you go to work the next day? How do you pick up and live your life, the way you once knew it?
Right.
These hearing devices would give you that opportunity to continue living your life. Go to work, have a job, have a career, go to school, be social. And so ALLY's Act covers both individuals born with hearing loss and for those who lose their hearing tomorrow. So it's very important. And there's all kinds of different reasons why people lose their hearing loss that benefit from these hearing devices. So bone anchored hearing device users and cochlear implant device users, these individuals, their hearing is in a different category from traditional hearing loss, okay? Maybe they had a cholesteatoma or an acoustic neuroma, some kind of tumor removed that destroyed their hearing. Maybe they had head trauma. People have dove into swimming pools.
Yeah.
And they're deaf, and this is the only hearing device that is going to help them hear. They've been in car accidents, and there's a cost savings component to ALLY's Act. There was a study done on individuals who have been aided with a cochlear implant since first grade, all the way through 12th grade. And back to the taxpayers, services, and school districts, it's a well over $100,000 savings per person. Yeah, they didn't do a study on bone anchored hearing devices, but imagine if they did. That shows there's a cost savings that comes back to our community and the taxpayers.
Yeah.
And it also prevents early onset dementia. All these unnecessary accidents where someone with hearing loss doesn't have a hearing aid and maybe they step out into a street or didn't hear a car coming. They all end up in the ER, which is more money for our insurance providers.
Exactly.
Aiding people saves insurance companies money.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing ALLY's Act. By the way, Allie is absolutely beautiful.
Thank you. So are you. I think everyone is beautiful and perfect just the way they are.
Yes. A saying I like to say is different is beautiful. So we're all beautiful in our unique ways. So again, thank
Absolutely.
you for sharing ALLY's Act. Me, myself, I am going to advocate as much as possible for ALLY's Act. Totally love everything you're doing. Very blessed to have you as a parent for Allie and as for an advocate. We need you and for the craniofacial community and everything. Thank you so much, Melissa. Well, it has been a pleasure chatting with you today. And if our audience wants to learn more about you, where can they follow you or read more? Just in case. Yeah.
Of course. So they can always visit our website at earcommunity.org. And then we also are on social media. They can follow us via Twitter, Instagram, and then we also have a Facebook page along with a few different support group pages. So our main support group on Facebook is called the 𝘧𝘀𝐴 and 𝘫𝐴 support group. It's the largest group. We have over 10,000 members.
Oh.
And we're just here to help. So I don't ever want someone born with 𝘧𝘀𝐴 and 𝘫𝑗𝐴 to ever feel alone again. And we help children with craniofacial and hemifacial microsomia as well. Allie has slight craniofacial microsomia. So we're all community, we're all the same, and we're here for everyone.
Yeah, we're here to help everyone. So we appreciate you sharing your time with us, and I look forward to chatting with you again in the future, Melissa. Thank you. Of
Thank you.
course.